Tonight on Passively Offside, down to 2, East versus West, and lots of yelling because Simon Borg and stuff. That and more on Passively Offside.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass,
And that song is a joke that will become relevant very soon because we will be discussing the games in just a little bit, of course. Boris, of course, rocking the LA. What kit are you wearing?
This is the Netherlands kit.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize it.
But the beautiful
LA
background of LA.
That's a nice scarf. The 11 Cup scarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a very nice scarf. Good work. Proud of you.
All that. I thought I would bring a really nice one to the pod.
Classing it up.
Classing it up.
You not every day you get a skyline.
Not every day. Absolutely.
Something Tokyo Drift.
Well, welcome to Passively Offside, the only show that guarantees your money back if you're not fully pleased.
Good thing it's free.
Thank you. I didn't bring my generic tablet tonight, so I've got my generic phone that has all of our notes on it. That's how this is going.
Generics.
Yeah, I do generics.
Yeah, me too.
Pay as you go.
Generic here.
As always, everybody, I am Taylor, your host extraordinaire. Boris, Splenda, Nephi. Again, Brandon's out this week, but that's okay. We're working on scheduling and all that. We're probably going to start doing more recorded shows.
Yeah. I liked it.
It was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want you to do it on a live show. The joke there is to signify when I need to cut something, we clap. In case you don't know how video editing works.
Something like that.
Because we always stay on topic.
We got
very much so on topic.
I cut it down to 45 minutes, almost on the dot, I think. And actually, we weren't off topic that much. I think we recorded only an hour of content.
That's not bad.
No.
There's obviously things that I said that couldn't even be included in the bloopers. So that's where
there were some things I had to cut off.
Yeah.
I cut out all the swearing and stuff. You know, we're a family-friendly show, guys.
Yep.
We're a family-friendly show.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about that. I'd like to up our rating a little bit.
You want to up our rating a little bit?
I want to go PG-13.
Yeah, I was going to say
You want to go 13?
PG-13.
Okay. All right. We can talk about that.
It's probably PG right now, just because we actually do have
We
We have
have
beer.
exactly
We're drinking.
We call it beer, yeah. We can't be on
generic.
It's
Generic
it's
hops.
beer brand beer.
It's generic hops.
All right, let's stop boring people and actually go on. This is what happens after we do a recorded show and then we come back live.
We feel like we can do whatever we
I
want.
feel like we can do whatever we want. Like I said before, these shows may get a little shorter. There's not a lot to talk about. There's only 2 games. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cup coming up. We've got a couple other things to talk about. And then we're going to discuss later on what we're doing for the off season. Might go on hiatus, might do other stuff. We haven't decided yet as a team. So we'll keep you updated and let you know next week.
we'll have a show next week, and
There will be a show next week.
then it's in the
Cup
air.
wrap-up
And
show.
it's kind of like
Yep. But we will have a decision next week, so you will know. And regardless, we're still going to be active on social media. So as always, remember to join us on Facebook at facebook.com/passivelyoutside, on Twitter at passively_off. Email us at passively_off@gmail.com. Jesus, I am.
It's just passively offside at gmail.com.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Passivelyoutside@gmail.com, and check out blogspot.passivelyoutside.com. It's been
There
a
you
little
go.
while.
Yeah, it has been.
And I went on vacation and all that. Yeah.
And we're
All right.
going on vacation again. High five.
Boris and I are going to the Cup.
Going to the
And
Cup.
We're leaving on Friday.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Friday morning.
So we will have from the Cup tweets, probably updates. We'll have pictures. We're going to talk about it next week, all that stuff. I invited Splenda, but he doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to come.
there is a ticket for him.
That's what I said.
And there is a ticket for
I
Nephi
have
as well.
responsibilities.
I've got a test.
Nephi has real responsibilities. Splenda could do it. Splenda could do it.
I've already made plans.
Your one
for
plan.
Saturday.
Your one plan is taking your girlfriend to the airport in the morning.
Yes.
And I have
And someone else could do
volunteered
that.
Someone else can totally do that.
Oh, there's been
She wouldn't even be upset.
No.
Why are you making me the bad
you
guy?
know what?
You're the bad
She's
guy.
probably watching this right now going, Splenda, why aren't you going? I hate you now because you're not going.
She's in a meeting right now.
Aw.
Well, I will say this is going to be weird because this is going to be now 2 cups in a row that Nephi's been there with me, and this is the first cup. It's been a while. Nephi's not going to be there.
That
Doesn't
barely made sense,
I
but I
know.
got you.
I'm
But
passing it
honestly-
on to Taylor.
The beard will be there.
Well,
I'm keeping the goatee. 2012 and 2011, I had the goatee,
Yeah.
and LA won. So the goatee is staying.
I am
I am
honestly pulling for New England Revolution
and
CCL
that's okay
Salt.
with you.
because, yeah, but I don't like Landon Donovan.
I don't want Real Salt Lake to have CCL.
We can get into that in a little bit. We can actually talk about that because that is something that comes from the whole cup scenario. Let's start with something that we are all very, very passionate about.
Okay.
Beer.
Soccer.
No, it's the MVP.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm
man.
referring to this segment as MV Robbed.
MV Keened.
No, don't. I hate it.
MV Rob Bede.
Hashtag MV Robbie.
Your MLS MVP is apparently, for some reason,
Robbie
Robbie
Keane.
Keane.
Well, that some reason is 19 goals and 14 assists.
And
That's-
one dramatic look.
Dun dun dun.
It's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for me. He didn't do as much for the team as a whole. Yeah, yes, scoring goals, that's great, but we've talked about this multiple times, guys. That's not everything. That's not the only factor that should be taken into account.
No, I don't want to be the only person arguing for Keane on this because I also do believe that Lee Win should have won
Yep.
because he's got the best name, Lee Win. All he does is win.
All he does is win.
And
MV
MV
Lee.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, that's the new one. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
For all you got fans.
I
He quits. He
Quit.
quits.
I'm out.
But I will say, it's the likes of Keane and the likes of Donovan that have actually made Zardes look like a very high caliber striker this year.
But
Win.
Look
But-
at him.
You also have to take other things into consideration.
Exactly.
One's not actually done at the end of the season.
Yep.
It's done throughout the whole season. So during the summer, if you remember right, New England had an 8-game losing streak.
Yep.
Or was it
They
9
were
games?
8 or 9. I think it was 9.
So you add when that voting was going on, and no one would have voted for Win whatsoever.
But we look at the beginning of the summer and we were talking about who is this Lee Win guy coming out of nowhere doing really well
Exactly.
in like April or May.
Yes.
And then he continued to perform through the summer.
But for Keane, he has produced throughout the whole season. So that's
Right.
what that's what I'm saying though, is when you had those first votings and someone was going, well, I got to make an MVP vote.
Who was MVP last year, though?
It
Mike
was
McGee.
Mike McGee.
Thank you very much.
I got it right.
Mike McGee carried Chicago on his shoulders throughout most of the season.
I get where you're
They
coming
had more
from.
wins than ties last year.
Barely.
He's up the jaw.
I get where you're coming from. I understand that. I think if you're looking at it by that regard, though, I still wouldn't give it to Keane.
Okay.
I didn't hear his name enough. There were too many games where he went unnoticed.
Keane?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the last couple of games of the season, Keane did
Oh,
almost
okay.
nothing.
Okay. But now we're talking at the end of the season.
Right. You got to take the whole season into account. Is what I'm saying.
I
They're
agree,
all
but voting
important.
isn't done at the end of the season.
That's my point.
Well, so that's why you can see Keane winning, is because through the whole season, except for the last little bit, his name was out. You're talking 2 games versus a 9-game losing streak.
No, I get that. I just still wouldn't give it to Keane.
I think when we look at it as an overall picture, yes, he is. But
Not even necessarily win. Like if you take win out of the picture, I still wouldn't give it to Keane. I don't have a specific of who I would give it to. I know someone was going to ask me that, so I'm getting out in front of it.
no.
But I still wouldn't give it to Keane.
Landon Donovan.
And
No.
maybe you know
I
what?
don't think he would have deserved it.
maybe it's because I don't like Keene. Maybe my bias is coming into play. I don't think. I think the MLS is really showing their true colors when it comes to LA and Seattle right now.
I just think it comes down to how their voting system is done. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Well, as well, the only other contender that was at number 1 for a bit throughout the season was Obafemi Martins.
Yep.
But the last half to third of the season,
Not a lot out of it.
crickets.
Yep. Yep.
Well, and he was one of those players that he either scored in bunches or just didn't score at all.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those games were against not.
He had a ton of goals,
but they were
so spread out.
They're so spread
They're
out,
like clustered.
And if you really looked at the like when he scored a lot, like I said, it was in bunches. It was against weaker teams.
Yeah.
Seattle's offense wasn't that strong against top 4 teams.
Well, one thing that Boris likes to point out actually is that Seattle, even though they were on top of the Western Conference, on top of the MLS, were greatly outscored by LA.
Mm-hmm. They were also outscored by New England.
Yeah.
They took some drubbings this year, and I think I don't know. We go through the way Seattle played. Seattle won the Open Cup pretty handily. Seattle won the Supporters Shield by drawing a come from behind draw in Los Angeles and a 2-0 win in Seattle.
Yep.
And to still think that people were hashtagging Siggy out.
Oh.
That was the best hashtag of the night.
The worst kind of fan. The worst kind of fan.
The plastic fan.
We give Siggy so much.
But I really do respect him.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to say. We give him so much crap.
Yeah.
All the time. He's the butt of almost all of our soccer
He eats a lot of cake. I mean,
exactly.
He eats
right?
a lot of cake.
A lot of cake. It's
But
hard not to make fun of it.
When you look at this in his body of work, Did
you really do that?
I just really did body of work. Yeah.
I was looking at Boris.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I saw it like on the corner of my eye. I like
He's in
that.
shape.
He's in
Round is in shape.
Round of shape.
Yeah.
That brings me back to high school.
He was definitely nomming his scarf that
He was.
Oh, my God.
All the jokes that came out from him nomming on his scarf. But honestly, no, the Seattle fans are. I guess I've been in here in Salt Lake too long that I have kind of a bias as the most fickle fans in the MLS being RSL fans, but really seeing the colors of the Sounders fans on Twitter that night after that game, it made me kind of think RSL fans aren't that bad.
Honestly, I will comment as an RSL fan, as an RSL primary fan, I will say you're probably going to see that everywhere.
Yep.
There are fickle LA fans. There are fickle Colorado fans, and at this point, they should be. Everyone has super
the butt
fickle
of the joke
fans.
is Colorado always.
They really, let's not go there. But you're going to have fickle fans everywhere. You've just been in Salt Lake for a while to see it up front.
I'm just disappointed in the city that invented soccer to see them turn and be such fickle fans when, come on, guys, you are who we look up to be real fans. And I don't know what to say.
Didn't they also invent football, baseball, and lacrosse?
Well, yeah, and coffee and
this
fixed gear bikes.
beanie, beard, and flannel.
I mean, I'm trying to be, but I mean, after that, I don't.
I mean,
don't know.
It would be easier to list the amount of things that Seattle didn't invent.
They invented the toilet, we learned.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
We did learn that, actually.
Tank to toilet. We paid to learn that.
Okay.
I will say, though, when it comes to atmospheres, MLS was probably begging for Seattle to win.
Oh, I would not be surprised.
Because that game,
that stadium,
it sounded like a UEFA Cup final.
Oh.
Now, granted, ESPN probably knew exactly where to mic the stadium.
But they would do that for a UEFA final.
Exactly. And it was great. I feel like they did a great job of being loud.
Yep.
I mean, 47,000, 46,000, 47,000.
Something like that.
They didn't sell it out.
No. Hard to sell that out for soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time they've sold it out that I've known was what's his face's retirement game. Keeper.
Casey
Oh,
Keller.
Casey Keller. Casey
Thank
Keller's
you. I should've
retirement
known
game.
that
Wow,
one.
I should have known that too.
That's
60
Look at you.
They did-
That's two.
They did 65,000 people for that game. But another that should have been arguably another very important game for Seattle, they didn't sell it out.
I think they were looking past it.
Boris, 40 some odd. How much can Rio Tinto fill?
19,
20,000.
20,000.
It's
19,000.
22. It's about 22. How much is StubHub?
StubHub can do 27.5.
Yeah.
It wasn't a sellout. Percentage.
Fickle LA fans.
Fickle LA fans. All right, let's get. Unless anyone else has anything to say about the true MVP.
What do we think
NBA
about Coach of the Year?
Ben Olsen.
Ben Olsen.
Worst to first, you can't really knock it.
I agree.
Can't take anything away from them.
Can.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because let's put it this way.
Someone's mad.
No, I'm not necessarily mad. It's just, okay, as a Coach of the Year,
Mm,
should be someone that took a team that was horrible and made them better. If you want to
So-
say DC's front office redid their whole squad and made it better. Yay! Because they seriously changed 7 of their starting lineup.
Mhm.
And looking at that starting lineup when they made the changes, you're like, no, this is a good team.
But you didn't think Ben Olsen had anything to do with that?
Ben Olsen had a lot to do
I'm
with
not
that.
saying he didn't. But look at Oscar Pereira, Dallas coach. Didn't make that many changes at all. Team hasn't made playoffs in 4 years. Look what that turnaround was.
Point taken.
Point taken.
No, that wasn't 4 years.
They haven't
They,
made,
they made the cup in 2010.
That was 4 years ago.
that was
bro.
Dynamo.
It was Houston.
No.
dude. Yeah.
10? 10 was FC Dallas versus Colorado in Toronto. I know because I was freezing up there.
Okay, so that's still 4 years.
It was 3. And FC Dallas actually made the playoffs.
Because that's the 10 cup. So,
Okay, so they haven't
11,
made it.
12, 13, and then
and
it's still kind of 4 years.
okay. But still, I mean, how long has it been since DC's made a playoffs?
That
Ben Olsen was
Okay.
Ben Olsen was given a crutch, and sadly, it had to get fixed. And it took him a couple of years, but it got fixed.
okay, but again, all I'm saying is, if you're looking at a coach that took a crappy team and made the players better, to a coach that bought a new team and took them,
I don't know. I feel like it has to do a lot with the coach, not just the front office.
okay.
What do you guys think? Because this is
I think this is a lot of
This
fun.
is a lot of fun.
The Boris and Nephi hour can sometimes be super dull, but when it's fun, you guys just go off the rails. Sometimes you guys just run with it, and I just love
I
it.
will say my favorite hours that happen though are the Nephi Brandon hours.
Oh,
That's great.
Those are the best.
That's great.
But I will say,
Nephi doesn't agree.
I will say, Ben Olsen also took DC into CCL. In CCL, they are now the top seed. They have a bye, and that's over teams like Club America, Pachuca, like all the Mexican clubs. Like DC earned the most points in CCL over everyone.
I'm not saying he was a bad candidate. I'm just putting out another person that I think should have had it.
Okay. Point taken.
He wasn't in the running.
He wasn't in the running. That's what's sad.
Who are you talking about, Nephi?
Oscar Pereira,
Oscar Pereira. He
coach
wasn't
of
in
FC
the.
Dallas.
Yeah, he wasn't in the running.
Yeah, you guys were just being a little. He wasn't in the running. Didn't quite come across.
Oh,
I was just trying to clarify for
okay.
our many,
Sorry.
many
Sometimes me and
all
viewers
of our
speak
viewers.
few words and we
the
put-
tons of viewers.
Yeah.
All
Sorry.
4.
Said. I'll clarify next time.
I doubt anyone's watching, but I enjoy it anyway,
Okay.
I know.
and people eventually watch.
I know.
People
Our first
like the
episode had
recording
over
in their
100
time.
views.
130 to date, though. We're not going to go into that.
Still
We're not going to go into
6
that.
weeks ago.
All right, we got to move on.
There's a baby coming.
We're just burning through this right now.
Okay.
Revs in New York.
Best game of the year.
They drew
Oh,
2-2. Rebs advanced 4-3 on aggregate. I missed part of that game because I was flying home from JFK, but I got to watch most of the second half on the plane, which
So
was
good.
awesome.
It was some of the best football.
And the guy across the aisle from me was watching too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And that was an amazing game.
Oh, it was a great game.
That game of the year.
How does Charlie Davies get so wide open on the first goal for the Revs?
Because the second one
it
was
looked-
kind of gross.
It
wasn't
looked like the offside trap didn't work.
Yeah.
Like when they moved forward, the ball was already played, and he moved into the
Defense transition.
emptiest space in the world, and just went.
That's what Charlie Davis is always good at, is those runs.
Yeah.
And
He finds the spaces.
he finds the spaces. And to be honest, as a defense, if you're not 100% communicating at all times, Dax McCartney, it's like, oh, Olave's got it. Olave's like, oh, Dax has got it. Charlie's like, maybe you guys got this.
Neither of you got me, and I just scored an amazing goal.
Yeah.
And then we get to see an awesome goal celebration.
What was it this time?
I think that one was just everyone came here and then did some sort of dance.
The
move
second
back
one, I
down.
think, is when he jumped over the
Yeah.
Yeah.
wall.
My favorite one will always be the stinky leg.
The stanky leg's pretty good.
That'll always be
My favorite celebration that's come out of New England is Nephi's relative.
Kalen. Which one?
When he scored a screamer into like the upper 90, ran and sat on the video board with like half of the team, and they rode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one of mine is for Gundez, grabs one of the rifles from
Yes.
the
No, he didn't grab a rifle. He just did this.
Oh yeah, that's right. And
He went and stood next to him. He was like, hey, shoot.
Mhm.
And he did the whole motion with him. He looked down, went up, and then he fired with him. It was amazing. That is celebration of the year to me.
I think honestly, New England has some of the best.
They really
celebrations.
do.
They-
Yeah. They're
I'm
kind of drab.
excited.
They're kind of drab in LA.
I think the only celebration that gets close to the rifle one for me is pizza.
Dominic.
Oh,
Ebola.
dumb.
I like.
pizza
I
celebration.
also like though Dwyer's selfie.
Selfie.
with the
Selfie.
fan.
The
That was
selfie.
good.
Selfie gate was an interesting one.
Selfie gate was good. We
Yeah.
talked about that for a while.
We did.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so thoughts on this game. What did this game show us?
How quality American
It
football
showed
can be.
it showed us Thierry Henry playing on plastic.
That's
Yes.
something
We
new.
witnessed
It
history.
showed us what we will be missing with him gone.
We're not to that point yet.
Oh.
But we will get there.
In just a moment, tell me other things about the game. We're gonna have. Well, that's a whole
Honestly,
topic.
the
in
other
itself.
thing is props to I cannot pronounce his name in my head right now. Tim Cahill. Why can I get that through?
Timmy Cahill.
What were
But
you trying to say?
I don't. It was coming out of my head. Just I was like, wait, why isn't that sounding right?
Were you trying to say it Australian?
No, I think I was doing Kim.
Can you do that?
Cahill.
How you doing, Mike?
Yeah,
Right on the
but
chip on the
anyways,
Bobby.
What's your name?
Tim Cahill.
everyone was
Tim
worried
Cahill.
though that. I mean, we've all known what has happened with him in New York.
Yep.
He just hasn't been playing, whatever, all these rumors, and Bright Phillips gets yellow card accumulation that somehow no one realized was going to happen. And they're going, well, we've got to play the guy that no one knows is going to be here next year. We've kind of snubbed, just hasn't been playing.
And he played his heart out.
Oh, and he almost got a hat.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful thing. Yeah, it was amazing.
Mhm. Almost as amazing as his press conference after.
No, I was talking about his goal during the World Cup.
Oh, his left-footed volley on the
Dirty,
run on
sorry.
Spain.
I was thinking.
Dirty.
I
Oh,
was
he left
thinking about-
Iker
You're
Casillas.
talking about
Sorry.
Thierry Henry.
I thought you meant Thierry Henry.
no.
I'm
He
done.
left-
We're getting to that point in a
Yeah,
minute.
sorry.
There's a good reason. for
Tim
that.
Cahill left Iker Casillas to dry on
Dink.
that.
Yep.
But a lot of people left Iker Casillas to dry in that World Cup.
You mean the entire back line from Spain?
Oh.
All right. Let's not go back to the World Cup. We did that part already. Let's talk about Thierry Henry.
Mhm.
Last game for the MLS. Last game with the Red Bulls. His last game was on plastic. And can you, since you brought it up, what was his? I want you to recite his entire post-game interview.
Make sure all the reporters ready. Everybody ready? Well done, New England.
That's it.
And
Walked
walks
away. If you watch the video, he asks if everyone's ready.
As if he's going to say something profound and mind-blowing that eloquently and succinctly wraps up his entire experience in the MLS and would bring a tear to Robert Frost's eye. And all he says is, "Well done, New England," and walks away.
But there's a good reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
USA is the only place where they allow reporters into the locker room.
Okay.
So you got a guy whose whole career in big moments, no reporters in the locker room.
How long has he been here?
4 years. How long has he had big moments?
Thierry Henry has won a championship everywhere he's played,
Except MLS.
except MLS.
That close.
But did you read his interviews after, like,
Yes.
all that?
Yeah.
After I read all the other interviews he's done after that, I could care less about that.
No, I mean, I'm. It's not that I blame him. It's not that I'm upset about it. I have no problem with the interview he had with him just saying, "Well, the New England." I kind of
Expected more.
Well, it's not even that I expected more. Again, I'm sitting on a plane
Yeah.
flying from JFK to Salt Lake, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, awesome, okay." My little headphones on, and I'm getting all ready for his interview, and I'm just like, "What?"
Yeah.
It was class, though.
It was class. He
Yeah.
didn't say anything negative. It was as classy as you can be in as many words.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. When New England scored that second goal, a lot of cameras focused on him, and he was screaming at his
Loved
team,
it.
One more.
One more.
This is
One
why I
more.
love him.
The other thing I want to bring up is hats off to the Revs players. They just won the Eastern Conference, and instead of celebrating, more than half the team went and shook his hand because they just realized.
Well, before celebrating.
Yeah, they did
that's-
something.
Yeah,
well,
they
they
were
celebrated, yeah. But I'm
But
saying before all that happened, they just realized
Bruh.
Really?
Bruh.
Continue.
one of the greatest players who will probably ever play in MLS just played his last game.
So, I mean, you've got two very high caliber players leaving this year. You've got Landon Donovan, you got Thierry Henry. I kind of hate how, I mean, okay, let me preface this with, yes, we weren't 100% on Thierry Henry because he didn't come out and specifically say I'm leaving until very recently.
Yeah.
But the amount of hype around Landon Donovan pisses me off now that Thierry Henry is left. And Thierry Henry doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would want that much
He
hype.
doesn't.
He wouldn't want it at all. So I'm not saying he should have gotten it.
Well, here's the thing. He's
But-
not going to get it here.
No.
Where's Thierry Henry going to get?
He's gonna go back
He's
to
going to go
Arsenal.
get it
He's
at
going to
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
He's going to sign
He's
a one-day contract. You know, he's
he's
going to
gonna-
retire a Gunner.
Actually-
He'll probably play a
He's
couple.
good.
He'll play for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
And not
he'll,
only
he'll
that,
either play for a while or he'll play one game, but either way, he's going to go
and
coach
they'll
there.
do a testimonial for him there and everything.
Yep.
True.
I mean, it'll be kind of really sad. I don't know if you guys saw the last game that David Beckham ever played for PSG.
Yeah.
They didn't let him end the game like Henry was allowed to end the game. Beckham was pulled in the 70th minute, and like literally, even the ref came over. The entire other team came over. Beckham cried and walked off the field. You know, great career.
Cool.
But I mean, that's one of those things that I feel that if they would have done that for him at New York, it wouldn't have had as much emotion as it's going to carry when he does that in a Gunners jersey.
Remember that I am an Arsenal
That's
fan,
what I'm
so
saying.
I'm just expecting so much more for the guy. But I get where you're coming from, and I am excited. To see
So
that
that's
happen.
what, and then that's why I can't agree with you being as pissed off as you are for Landon Donovan. When Landon Donovan's put in his time in the MLS, he's played almost all of his years with the LA Galaxy. He has been an icon for Major League Soccer and the United States men's national
I get all
team.
that. I get all
And
that.
that is where he's going to do that. If you expect so much more of someone where they're originally from, the Gunners,
That's
you
not
can't
what I'm
be mad
saying.
about the same thing in the same league.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I expected more than nothing, is what I mean.
Mm.
I'm not saying that they've given too much to Landon Donovan. I get it. Icon, whatever. Get all up on Landon
Hashtag
Donovan for a
LD.
little bit, okay? That's fine.
LD.
I don't like the guy very much. I think he's a great player. I love watching him play, and I love when he played for the U.S. but I don't have the Landon hype that a lot of other people do.
Mhm.
My biggest thing was just nothing for an amazing player.
It's because he's not that type of person.
And I get that.
any
And as well,
place.
you know, the Red Bull organization, I mean, the Energy Drink FC organization
Yeah.
probably doesn't give two
Yeah.
expletives. You know, they were willing to pay him to come over here, but they don't, you know,
Good
they
point.
don't, they're not in on history. They don't know that he was part of the Invincibles. They probably do. That's why I signed him.
Yeah.
But you know, all those things that it's going to be that much more emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather see him crying, hugging Arsene Wenger
Yeah.
than hugging Mike Petke after, you know, Petke face.
I get where you come from. I completely
Yeah.
agree. You know, that's a great way to put it.
Because I could also say, since I'm not an Arsenal fan, that I really don't like him, but he is Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He is Titi.
You got to
You know,
you got to
can't-
respect the
and
guy.
he's played.
That's like me with Donovan. I don't like the guy, but I respect the
because he's
hell
played
out
for
of him.
he played for Arsenal, which I don't like Arsenal. He played for Barcelona, and I do not like Barcelona. You know, but he is Titi Henry, and forever he will be a legend of the game.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, I will be retweeting an interview he did. I think it was Monday.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Just the answers he gives, just about himself, his views on soccer and everything, just profound. So I will be retweeting that on PO, so you guys can read that. If you want to hear words from one of the best soccer players ever, you should read it.
All right, let's get off this topic. That was a heated one.
Yeah, not super heated.
Just lots to talk about.
Just lots to
There's
talk
lots
about.
to talk about.
All right, we've got a couple more things to talk about. Let's talk Seattle LA. In Seattle, great game, really good game. Seattle had it.
Nerve-wracking.
Seattle had that
Scored
game.
too early.
So I only watched
By the way,
first half.
ended 2-1 in favor of Seattle. LA goes on 2-2 aggregate, the tied aggregate, but with LA having the only away goal means that they advance.
Defend your house.
Defend your house.
So I only watched the first half, and because I gotta get up early in the morning, and so I get up in the morning, I'm already just expecting that Seattle won,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I can't say I was shocked, but I was just like,
Oh, so that's how it's gonna go.
okay. Seattle couldn't finish it when it mattered most.
Oh.
And one thing that I will say, Matt, and I can't pronounce his last name, Shingardian, and Brian Strauss, and all these people said at halftime, you will see a completely different game the second half.
Yeah,
Bruce Arena lives for the second half.
I think-
And the fact that all these reporters were saying that,
Yeah.
and then it comes true, you know, that for them, they're probably like, I called it, you know?
No, I called it.
well, I was gonna say,
This is how I tell
when
you.
we talked about the LA Seattle game last time, it really came down to the two teams are too close. It's going to come down to the small tactical
Yep.
changes that the coaches make. And no one is better at that than Bruce Arena.
I gotta respect the guy.
I'm not a big fan of him,
Don't like him, gotta respect him.
but I got to respect the man. He knows how to coach.
I don't like
He knows
just
how to
about anything about LA, but I respect him.
But what I do want to talk on that game is how amazing Pinedo's been through the playoffs and the howlers he gave up.
Okay,
Oh.
let me hold on. Let me backtrack just a little bit
The first
because
one
I said
wasn't
I don't
bad.
like anything about LA. That's not true. I love
Jaime
Pinedo. I love Pinedo. As
So
a goalkeeper, it speaks to
He's
my
so
heart.
good.
He is so good. Seeing him play in Salt Lake and just the saves he made stood on his head, has been standing on his head all season. You know, he hasn't been as out there and as in the spotlight as other keepers like Hamid, Raimondo.
Quietly in the background.
Quietly in the background, making absolutely beautiful saves. Led in 2, and then trusted his team to finish it up and kept him clean till the end.
Now, the first goal that went in, karma to the LA Galaxy.
Mhm.
Because that one deflected right off of Omar Gonzalez's foot,
Yep.
and Pinedo was left to dry.
Yep.
But the second one, first of all, I'd like to say I hate Leonardo. I don't know why we keep starting him. I don't know why we keep him.
Yeah.
And
He's wearing an
I
LA
know.
scarf, and they're going to the
Yeah.
cup. I'm letting him
Yeah.
do it this time.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's still
There are 2 teams left in the league in our eyes. Okay.
Exactly. And honestly, the only person that has a claim to fame to New England is Nephi because his brother plays for the Revolution. You know,
Yeah.
brother, cousin, thing.
brother, cousin,
He's
friend,
somewhere there.
somewhere on the somewhere on the
over
road.
there.
But yeah,
Not like that's a common name or anything.
With the way it's spelled.
it's
Okay,
It's,
keep
an
going.
exact- I will say that giveaway. That giveaway in the back with Leonardo letting the ball bounce right to Dempsey.
Yeah.
And Dempsey obviously put everything he could on it, and it bounced in front of Pineda, which again is, throws it off. But the fact that it was in his hands and it just
went out.
went out and into the back, it felt like the World Cup 2012,
Yep.
2010, when
Yep.
Dempsey shoots it from 30 yards out. Robert Green has it. And next thing you know, it's in the back of the net.
What about the Russian goalkeeper from this year? I got it. No, I
Oh
don't.
no, that one was no, but it's funny.
Got it in his hands. I thought you were talking about the other one, which I think was the same guy when he went to throw it and it popped out of his hand like up
Oh,
here
gosh.
as he came down. Yeah, that was bad.
No, but definitely what Seattle didn't do is they didn't finish.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, they did, just not enough times.
Yeah.
and they probably shouldn't have started Ozzie Alonso.
Oh,
Ozzie Alonso looked pathetic in the midfield,
Did not look good.
and they most of the steals came from
his
Him
giveaways are
giveaways.
mad.
that one giveaway where Landon broke loose, and
Oh.
Stephen Fry for some reason decided he was going to stick his foot out just in case. I mean,
Got it.
how many times do you see Landon break free like that, go 1-on-1 on the keeper and score?
Almost every single.
He did it 3 times to Nick Raimondo.
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna break this glass. in your head.
In Nick Raimondo's defense,
he
he
was, let
was
out to
the
dry,
only
too.
one playing on the field.
Exactly.
So
The Real Monarchs showed up. Or sorry, Monarchs SLC.
oh God, stop.
Is that what it is?
Because you have to have the geographical tag on there.
Oh, jeez. But then again, going with it,
We're not to that point.
what about Juninho's goal?
That was a beautiful goal.
It's a good way to finish it
He
off.
used that turf to his advantage.
Yeah.
And not only that, Juninho's known for shooting from outside the box
Mhm.
and just having some scorchers of goals.
Yeah.
This was his first goal all season.
Yeah.
What better time to have your goal come and hit?
You get to go to the cup now, buddy.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Let's talk about one last thing really quick. I just wanna get some thoughts on this. I saved it for the end because I wanted to talk about the games first because I was looking to see if anyone mentioned it. The reffing during the last 2 games has been a little weird, and there was a lot of fouls that were either not called or very lax.
Stern talking to.
Yes. Some red card worthy tackles got stern talking tos.
Yep.
That's because you had Jair Marufa and Kevin Stott out there refereeing.
It's because you got the sense that neither one of them wanted to make a
Yep.
call that would influence the game.
Neither one of them wanted to make a call that they would then be berated for, regardless of whether it was correct.
On
You
all
are-
4 teams,
you
on all 4
are-
games.
You are a ref. Doesn't
Make
matter.
the call that matters.
Make the call
Make-
you see. If
yes.
you see it, call
I mean,
it.
make the call that matters wasn't the right word there. It was
Yeah.
a bad word. Make the call that is there. It's the
If you
actual.
see it, call it. Don't
Ref by the book.
Yeah.
don't give.
Because then you get to sit. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going off what Boris said. You get to sit behind your computer with everyone yelling at you and say, "La la la, went by book." Okay, go.
I was gonna say you shouldn't let the weight of the game influence your referee. Now, with that said, referees are people. They make mistakes.
What?
Yes, and they can be heavily influenced. And
Yeah.
the thought of endless internet's ridicules because they made one bad call that one half saw as the correct call and the other half wearing the other color jersey said no, it shouldn't have happened. that caused our team to lose.
regardless of whether it was
Exactly.
actually a correct call.
Exactly. And so that's part of the reason that, it's hard out there for a ref.
It's hard, but
Yeah,
that's your
definitely.
job.
Yeah.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Exactly.
You decided to do that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen.
The only thing that bugs me about this whole thing now is with LD retiring and the way this game's going to be, so many people are going to hop on the conspiracy bandwagon if LA does win.
I'm already on that bandwagon.
Well, here's it,
Script's been written.
Beef was
the
kinda
ref
handed
that
it.
they picked too.
You can't buy him.
Well, the thing is,
No.
it's.
Oh, no.
Do you think he's going to make a call that I'm Mike Geiger? I'm going to make the call because I want to make my name.
He was the only American ref to be picked to go to a World Cup, and there are reasons for it. So
I don't
Yeah,
think he's
but-
going to do it in the MLS Cup 2014 to make his name. He's already got his name.
yeah,
Yeah, he went to the World Cup in Brazil and made his name.
He
I
also
hope
hasn't
he-
had that great of refereeing since the World Cup.
but he was also the best ref at the World Cup,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
We might not have made.
Gonzalez was one of the best center backs. Look at him now.
We might not have made
Playing
the.
for an MLS Cup.
Yeah, but he hasn't had that great of a season.
All right, we're going around in circles. That's getting nowhere.
Gonzalez? He's best 11.
See, there we go. It's going to
Just
happen.
spinning
All right,
circles.
well, let's keep going.
Let's not even talk about the best 11. You're going to get me on a riot there. And the only-
Hashtag Ramondo should have won.
it's not even about that. It's not even about that. I think Ramondo handled that very well, by the way.
Oh, he did.
Really?
Come on,
Sorry.
bro.
If you,
You
want to see
chill out over
good,
there.
go look at Matt Doyle's 11 because he actually did 3 of them, but all of them were position based, not actually who put the most goals in.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. We're getting off this. One last thing because I forgot to talk about it. Splenda, why did we have that song open us up?
So, because Seattle is all about that bass because of no treble. But we got treble. I'll be here all week.
All right, we're done. We're done. Important dates coming up just in the last couple of seconds here. Expansion and waiver draft on the 10th. Reentry draft phase 1 on the 12th. Reentry phase 2 on the 18th. And the MLS Super Draft coming next year, January 15th. That is a Thursday. We looked it up earlier.
CBA is going on right now.
That's the last thing I was going to ask.
Locked-
Just a real quick,
locked
tell me
doors.
what's
There's
happening.
absolutely nothing going on right
I
now.
know.
There's
I literally just wanted you to say nothing. It's
Oh.
locked doors.
We don't know.
We don't know what's happening, but the CBA is happening right now. It's Nephi's favorite thing in the world, and he is going to give us a whole segment on it when we know more about it.
I really hope behind the locked doors they've already hammered out details. Now they're just playing ping pong or something.
On
Bro,
the
what are
big,
you guys doing this
on
weekend?
the giant redwood table that's in there.
They brought in Mix just for the fun of it.
Well,
We'll talk off
you
here
know
about
that it's
something.
not ping pong if they're going big. It's pickleball.
We're done with
Do
this.
they use a pickle instead of a
No.
ping pong?
So they use a really small tennis court with a wiffle ball and ping pong, like a slightly bigger ping pong mallet.
Why aren't they just playing polo in a hotel? Something like
It's a-
super extravagant.
It's a St. George thing.
Okay, that's fair.
Sure.
All right, real quick, Splenda,
Yes.
who wins the cup?
We're doing scorelines as well.
I'm just asking Splenda who wins the cup.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Draw.
It can't be a draw. It goes to extra time. Okay,
I know,
who
I
wins
know,
extra
I know.
time?
Draw.
Then who wins the shootout?
Landon Donovan puts in the final goal and then dies on the field. Then there's a proper Viking funeral in the middle of the field in the center dot. They just light him up. Funeral pyre.
All right, who wins the cup? I want a good prediction.
I honestly think
Siri.
it's probably going to be LA on a 2-0 or a 2-1 scoreline.
Okay.
The one goal probably the one goal from the Revs, I would say it's going to be Lee Win or Charlie Davies.
Okay.
Charlie Davies has been making an amazing comeback the last couple games, and all he does is win. So that's my prediction. It's probably wrong.
It's okay, bud.
Just to add one last thing, if Landon gets an assist in the MLS Cup final, he
He will
will
be the only person to get an assist.
no. He will own the record for playoff assists, playoff goals, season assists, and season goals. He's one away. He's tied with Mauricio Cienfuegos right now.
We're also going to rename the moon the Landon Donovan.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, we're going to make the Landon Donovan 5. It's a rocket that can actually go to Pluto with Landon Donovan.
No,
that's
that's
what
the
we're
Kyle
calling
Beckerman.
humans.
That's the Kyle Beckerman.
We're calling
5.
humans Landon Donovans.
We're
from now on.
renaming daylight savings time to Landon Donovan savings time.
And he gets to make the rules about it. The jersey next year for, you know how the MLS is doing the pictures thing and the numbers? All the pictures for LA are going to be Landon Donovan.
They're going to rewrite the Farmer's
Please tell me
Almanac
it's a
to
found
be on
picture.
Landon Donovan time. He's going to have his own time zone.
Snow is going to be called Falling Landons.
Is it going to be like taco time?
It'll be like
Taco Standard
time.
EVDBB.
EBDBLD.
Okay, we're not doing that. Anyone got any more funny Landon Donovan jokes?
They're going to rename the North Pole to North Landon Donovan.
And the South Pole, the South Landon
Morgan
Donovan.
Freeman
too?
is going to name his first child. Yeah. Morgan Freeman is going to name his first child Landon Donovan, and he will speak just like Landon Donovan with no inflection in his voice. Very monotone. I'm so excited. I just won the MLS Cup.
You need to be a little bit more straight in the back when you're.
You need to have a receding hairline.
All of LA's new scarves are just going to be Landon Donovan's face. Just not any background, just his face on one side, and then just Landon Donovan written over and over and over and over.
The
across
O's
whole
in the
thing.
Hollywood sign are going to be changed to Landon Donovans.
I'm just going to do this to you guys when Nick Raimondo retires.
That's
All
fine.
right,
Just
that's
so
fine.
you know.
I'll
Absolutely,
gladly allow you to
yes.
do that. Yeah, thank you.
Please.
All right, we're done. We're done
Okay.
harassing Boris. We
See
were
you
just
guys.
harassing directly
I
at
don't
Boris.
care.
Yeah, I don't care either. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, this will be the final pre-game Passly Offside for the year.
Yeah.
There are no more games after this.
Wow.
That's it. So we'll be back next week to talk about the Cup. Boris and I will be posting stuff from LA if we remember, because, we're going to be having a lot of fun on our bro date to LA.
Mandate.
Mandate to LA.
Are you
Or
guys,
Landon Donovan
are you
to
gonna
Landon Donovan, where we're going to go watch Landon Donovan
Are you gonna
in
listen to
Landon
a lot
Donovan
of-
Stadium
a lot
using
of-
my Landon Donovan, which is called a ticket now.
It's not a Landon Donovan Stadium. We all know it's called the Bruce Arena.
I've always called it that. I've always loved
The
it.
StubHub is now just the Bruce.
The
Can-
Bruce Arena.
Can you guys listen to a lot of like 80s pop on the way down? Like a lot of
Oh,
like
I've already got.
Wham.
I've already got.
I'm
Just
just
like
gonna listen to
cruising.
Landon Donovan narrate his entire life from birth.
We're
gonna
gonna listen to the Landon Donovan memoirs from Cambodia.
I'm gonna listen to
You and Landon Donovan from Cambodia. You've got a thing for Landon Donovan in Cambodia.
Is there something that
It's a
happened
good
with
one.
Landon Donovan in Cambodia that you want to talk to us about,
Well,
bud?
what happens in Cambodia stays in Cambodia.
All right, we're done with this show. We've already gone over time. That is it. Remember to join us on Facebook at facebook.com/PasslyOffside, on Twitter at @Passley_off. Email us, PasslyOffside@gmail.com, blogspot.PasslyOffside.com, something like that. I don't know. The blogspot always trips me up. We'll see you next week, and we'll talk Cup. Enjoy. Watch it. Oh, by the way, it's Sunday at One Mountain. Forgot to say that earlier.
Yeah.
So watch it.
On ESPN?
ESPN.
ESPN.
Four-letter network.
See ya.
The Ocho.
I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all